June 1942. Just 6 months after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the tide of war in the Pacific is about to turn. In a remote stretch of ocean near Midway Atoll, 4 massive Japanese aircraft carriers steam toward what they believe will be an easy victory. But what awaits them is a devastating ambush. This is the story of how the Imperial Japanese Navy lost its carriers, and with them, its dominance of the Pacific in one of the most decisive battles in naval history. The Battle of Midway. After Pearl Harbor, Japan appeared unstoppable. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto sought to eliminate the remaining threat, the U.S. aircraft carriers. His plan, lure them into a trap at Midway. But thanks to American codebreakers who cracked Japan's naval codes, Admiral Chester Nimitz was ready. The U.S. Navy, though outnumbered, would strike first and hard. On the morning of June 4th, waves of American planes launched from Midway and their carriers. Torpedo squadrons from the USS Hornet and Enterprise flew low and straight into danger. They were slaughtered, nearly all shot down without a single hit, but their sacrifice paved the way for what came next. With the skies seemingly clear, Japanese carrier crews began to rearm their planes for a second strike. At that exact moment, American dive bombers from the USS Enterprise and Yorktown broke through the clouds above. What happened next changed everything. At 10:22 a.m., Lieutenant Commander Wade McCluskey and his squadron descended. Kaga was hit with multiple 1,000-pound bombs. Her deck turned into a firestorm. Moments later, Akagi Admiral Nagumo's flagship was struck. One bomb detonated among armed aircraft, sealing her fate. Both carriers were doomed. Almost simultaneously, Soryu was struck by 3 direct hits. Fires spread uncontrollably, forcing the crew to abandon ship. She sank later that evening. In just 5 minutes, 3 of Japan's frontline carriers had been mortally wounded. The heart of the Imperial Navy was breaking. But Japan still had one carrier, Hiryu. She launched counterattacks that managed to hit the USS Yorktown. The damage was severe. Fires erupted, and the crew fought valiantly to save her. Though she stayed afloat temporarily, Yorktown would be finished the next day by a Japanese submarine. By late afternoon, the Americans located Hiryu. Dive bombers from the USS Enterprise struck with precision. 4 bombs hit the carrier, setting her ablaze. She was abandoned and scuttled the next day. All 4 Japanese carriers, Akagi, Kaga, Soryu, and Hiryu, were gone. Japan lost over 3,000 men, 4 carriers, hundreds of aircraft, and its naval initiative. The U.S., while suffering losses, had dealt a crushing blow to Japanese ambitions. Midway didn't end the war, but it ended Japan's ability to wage offensive operations. From that moment on, the United States would go on the offensive, island by island, mile by mile, toward Tokyo. The Battle of Midway was not just a victory of firepower, it was a triumph of intelligence, bravery, and timing. The sinking of the Japanese carriers marked the beginning of a new chapter in the Pacific. Out of the ashes of Pearl Harbor, a new American resolve rose, one that would not stop until final victory in 1945. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more wartime documentaries. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the past.